Yo, what's going on? It's the NRW with nerds. Rule the world. It's your boy Kuya P, aka Patrick Michael Strange, and I'm back with the homies of the Sumthin or Nuthin podcast. The podcast where we'll either give you something or we're gonna give you nothing. It doesn't matter. We don't give a fuck. We just doing our thing, having fun with fam, just chilling. And today we have a special guest. Today. So first off, let me introduce the regular fam, and then we'll talk about the special guest. Always the lovable, the amazing, the beautiful Tranquil Ashes. What's up, Tranquil?
Hey everybody, hey everyone. It's Tranquil here. It's been one busy August, like everything and all the things blowing up my phone, calendar filled. But
You've been putting it down, man. You've been putting it down. We got to get some updates in there later. What we can say, because I know you got some fire coming.
I do have fire coming. Other than that, just been chilling and staying away from the heat.
That is true. I love it. So we also have my brother Roohkage, always shining, always just killing it. He's been busy as fuck too. You know what I'm saying? Trying to weigh the regular life gig and then trying to do other stuff, man. But I'm glad to see you still smiling and shining and not letting the stress get to you. But before you blessed us with your presence, you were killing it with our special guest today, rocking it on the Open Mic podcast. And you see that lovely hat. My brother's got the dopest hat right now in the world. DJ Michael Miguel, what's good, brother?
Howdy. How are you guys doing?
Bless, man. Thank you for joining us, man. I enjoy listening to your show too. I've been peeping it, and then with my brother Rue there, man. Y'all are good, man. I like what y'all doing, man. So props. Shine, throwing shine. Showing love, man. Definitely got to give that to you, bro. Hell yeah. Yes. So, man, today, again, with us Something or Nothing podcast, where we either give you something or we give you nothing. I was trying to line up some special guests tonight. But they were a little too busy. But I've also been mad busy. So it was kind of like last minute. It was actually literally like 10 o'clock this morning when I called up Neptune Suicide. Rue. I was like, yo, Neptune, when you gonna come back through? And she was like, yo, let me check. She was like, I want to say yes, but hold up. But then she hit me back like, nah, I got a guest tonight. So we'll make that happen another night. So we're going to have Neptune back. We're going to do a whole OnlyFans convo again. Have fun with our friends that, do some of the stuff that are a little bit on the alternative fringes, if you will, because, I can't usually do that on some of my other podcasts. So we'll have that coming soon again. And I know Tranquil and I got something stirring in the pot. So we'll talk on that when we get to that anyway. But so today, man, we had I don't know if y'all are fans of hip hop like I'm a fan of hip hop. Yeah, y'all youngins, man. Yeah, y'all weren't there at the birth of hip hop like I was. We've had this convo when we did a little bit, remember?
We got a whole episode about this.
Yes, sir. So yeah, man, I'm a hip hop head, saw the foundation start up and now to where it is has just been beautiful. And one of the things I love currently that's been kind of really pulling us through with this pandemic right now is these versus shows that's on Triller. And it isn't even hip hop. You know what I'm saying? We've had some R&B acts come through, I think. Yeah, we had a couple R&B acts come through, but when they can do the hip hop, which is that's what hip hop is battling. You know what I'm saying? Testing each other's skills, testing each other's bars, who got records, who got singles, who are ringtone rappers, who are really lyricists. You know what I'm saying? That's what I love about it. So this past week, man, there was a murder in New York City. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but there was definitely a murder. It was the Locks versus Dipset. Who want to talk a little bit on just their initial thoughts on what went down up in NYC?
It wasn't the Locks versus Dipset. It was Jadakiss.
There we go. Go ahead, DJ. What you gotta say, man? What were your thoughts of coming off of that, bro?
Look, I didn't catch all of it, but the things I caught, his stage presence spoke more like it. That's what you got to do first. Stage presence is everything when you got to do a battle. And if you conquer that, you can't say nothing.
Yes,
That's
sir.
very true.
Tranquil, what'd you think, man?
I mean, But it's funny because like I was around, I guess we all were when Versus started, but Versus just used to be an IG live like situation where it was just you two on live and you play your 10 records and whatever, and it was move on and whatnot. Like to this day, one of my favorites, if not my favorite, is from like back in the day, and it was Lil Jon versus T-Pain. And that was a live versus, because they're both big hitters when it comes to songs and features and producing and whatnot. I mean, Lil Jon won, but T-Pain had some good ones in there. But in terms of it was just Jadakiss. But I'm not necessarily sure why people were surprised, because I feel like
that's what I'm saying, yo.
Right. Jadakiss has been Jadakissing for 20 years. Like, you know what I mean?
Yo, like, we just gonna get into it. Like, come on now. Come on. Like, you put it on paper. You know what I'm saying? You write the locks and each members. Come on. Sheik, Luke, Styles P, Jada fucking Kiss. And then you put Dipset, Cameron, Jules Santana, but no one else even mattered. Come on, just you can go on, but really, come on, man. It was just I was it was Locks versus Milli Vanilli. Like it was like a movement against lyrics. It was like a period piece. You know what I'm saying? Like Dipset had some bangers, but they weren't like, you know what I'm saying? It was like it was what I'm trying to find my words right now. Y'all got to help me out right now because I'm tired and old as fuck too. So help me out here. But you know what I'm saying? It was just like a phase. Dipset was a phase. They're like No Limit for a half second when we're wearing colorful camo. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, like Dipset was just like that small little window of things, but Jadakiss conquered over here, over there, even in the in-between. So you're gonna get Dipset to get like those 2-3 songs hit, like, okay, yeah, we can't do nothing about it. But everything else is just over. But also, T-Pain won that battle. Lil Jon, what?
No, absolutely not. I am so sorry, sir. I mean, I like auto-tune as much as the next person, but I'm sorry. Like Little John, there was a part where they were like, yo, let's play a drinking song. And this was T-Pain's suggestion. And, I'ma buy you a drink. And and then he was like, that's cute. And then Shots played, and they could have just ended the verses. Literally, for a fact that Shots was a song for like a year. Like that song was on the radio past the summer into the next summer. Any club you go to, Shots is being played. Period.
So here's the question: is like, what are the factors of like, what do you factor in when it comes to a versus? Like, just like how influential the artist or the songs that they're going against one another is, or how just because it feels very subjective, right? Like,
yes,
it's like there's no true winner, or is there a true winner?
Yeah, I would say there's a true winner because
especially after this week. Come on now.
Right. After that slaughter, yeah.
Fucking the Dipset wouldn't be Dipset if not for the Locks. Like, come on now. They gave them everything. Like New York too. Like, yo, these cats is dude, you're in fucking Miami and Colorado, bro. We're in fucking New York City. Like, these cats are like, they've always repped New York. You ain't gonna win this shit. You're coming out here with leather pants on. What are you doing with leather pants? I ain't losing to nobody with leather pants on. Oh my God, bro. Yo, and then when I'm sorry, I know you want to get back on the Lil Jon shit, but this shit just blew my mind. Like, Jules Santana said, yo, y'all are gay, man. Y'all gay. Y'all ain't got shit for the ladies. You ain't got shit for the ladies. We ain't got shit for the ladies, bro. And then all of a sudden, single after single that they had with fucking Mariah Carey, J-Lo, like, bro, they had bars for days, tracks for days. We got Grammys, bro. You talking grams? We got Grammys, son. Like, come on now. Like, Jules should have just walked off. He must have lost his goddamn mind. Like, You just put the mic down. Go ahead. Go home. Because you bumped your head. You bumped your head.
That's true. I mean, like I said, like I don't know why anyone was surprised about Jadakiss blowing up, not even with his crew, just Jadakiss by himself. He didn't even need nobody else on that stage, to be honest.
Tell
And
it.
so I'm not sure why people are like, "Oh, I ain't know Jadakiss." You didn't know? Are you sure you didn't know? I feel like he has one of the most unique voices in the game. So I'm like, I feel like you know who you're hearing the moment you hear him rap. It's not like how 27 people sound like Future. Like Jadakiss sound like Jadakiss.
It's true.
Yo.
It's true. There's so many people who sound like Future, yo.
Same. I thought who was it? The guy who made Panda.
Oh, Designer.
Designer. I thought that was Future for the longest.
Nope.
Yeah.
There's some cookie cutter rappers out here, bro. Some cookie cutter rappers. Like that, it ain't the same no more, man. That's why. But I don't want to talk being an old head talking bad about the newer generation, the younger generation. But like,
no, go ahead.
It's real talk though. Like, Roo, you and I have discussed a little bit, man. Shout out to West Coast. So y'all keeping it a slightly different, but at the same time, you are the home of a lot of these same cookie cutter kind of cats. Actually, no, I'm not gonna say that because there's some in Atlanta too, in New York. So I ain't gonna just put it on the West Coast. We ain't gonna have no West Coast East Coast rivalry going on.
A lot of these artists you're talking about, they're getting big because they're coming to LA because this is where it's easy to get a lot of clout because of posts and social media.
True.
But a lot of them are from all over the country. You know what I
mean?
That's
I pulled it back. I didn't mean to disrespect y'all like that.
No, you're good. I'm from Hawaii. I don't feel no disrespect. But it's like that's how I see it. Is like for the past couple years, it's been a real trend to come to LA, get your social media presence up, and because it's easier to meet people out here. You know what I mean? It's easier to be different out here than in your home state and posting, next to a barn or something compared to actually being out here where there's like literal buildings set up for you to take pictures and post social media posts. You know what I'm saying? So
true.
Speaking of cookie cutter rappers, because this is some recent news, y'all hear about that the baby incident?
I heard a little bit. If y'all gotta fill me in because again I'm an old head. I just know he's been canceled by like everybody and their mama because he said some anti-LGBTQ type shit. Yoon. Say what?
Shin Yoon canceled him.
Who's Shin
Yoon? The cult Chinese dance thing. Yeah, it's really a cult though. I've been to that shit. I've seen a couple of.
Too. I don't get it, but
yeah, it's a weird culty religion type thing, bro. But it's cool to see. But yeah, but no, fill me in because like I said, I just know that he said some stuff he shouldn't have said, and now obviously he's getting that back. You do this. This is what's gonna happen. Do y'all think it's right? What's happening? Well, let me know.
I might be butchering it, but basically, I just heard him. I saw a video of him from the looks of it talking mad shit to people that contracted HIV and AIDS and stuff, telling them to like get to the back of the room or get out of the venue or something. I think those were along the lines of what he was saying.
Kind of, sort of.
Because he talks so fast, and when you in that stage presence, that's like you're a different being at that point. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a lot of like, I think it's a lot of like just doing instead of thinking of what you're saying, So
yeah,
he could have been on, like not literally on some, but he could have been on one. He could have just been on some fucking rant. Like, I don't know where his intentions actually lied, but at the same time, I don't know fully like where he was even going with it. Like, I don't know the context before the video. I don't know what enticed him to even start ranting on what he did.
Yeah.
All I just see is a video of him sweating his ass off, talking to a crowd of what it was. Yeah, Lollapalooza or something.
It was one of those.
He was at I think he was at a festival. And just talking from the looks of it, talking shit about people with HIV and AIDS, which there's no reason for. Obviously, I just don't know what was the origin of that. You know what I mean?
It was like trying to get the people riled up to like, so he's like put a phone light up if you don't have AIDS or something like that. Put a phone light up if you don't got this, and da. And it was all geared towards that. So everybody's like, what's going on over here?
Yeah, he was doing the most. That wasn't really good messaging. He didn't think about the optics on that.
Yeah.
Also, on top of that, another thing that is, well, he was kind of already on thin ice because about what happened last year with the whole Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion situation.
Yeah.
Well, this year, I guess a month ago or maybe a little longer ago, Tory Lanez is like releasing music now again, and he released his song with DaBaby, and DaBaby promoted the song. He was in the video, all that other stuff, and like he started getting on thin ice because people are still pissed off at Tory Lanez for the Megan Thee Stallion shooting, even though like we still have not heard much since all that went down about what's actually going on with that, but. So people were starting to like look at him sideways then, because it was like, all right, well, how you gonna be like on Megan's side at one point and then you promoting Tory Lanez? And he said it was just business, and so that's okay for some people, and I guess for some other people that's not okay. So he was already on thin ice, and then you add these like sentiments on top. Yeah, I mean, I don't see him. I see him being canceled with quotes. Like, I don't see him going anywhere for real.
Yeah.
So, I just keep making music like they all do, but at the same time, like, no personal anything towards him. I just like, he's not one I listen to. I think I maybe have 1 or 2 songs on my entire Spotify from him. But that's what a lot of these newer cats are, in my opinion, are. It's like you might have 1 or 2 joints that are actually worth a listen because, it's fun when you listen to it. It's like more of a pop type of vibe. That's why, with all of those one-hit wonders, that's all they usually ever are. And even those one-hit wonders, they have those fan bases still, no matter like, but it's not in the, or it might not seem, because the thing is, if you're not a fan, you don't know what somebody's fan base looks like, because there's these newer rappers right now where I've never heard of them before, and then you see a blue check mark or something, and then you press on them, 23 million followers, and you're just like, what?
How? Yeah, I don't understand it.
How the internet is now, though, but it's also like showing me personally, and Kuya, I'm pretty sure you've been known this. It's just like there gets to a certain point where it's just like, oh, this is just how it is. Like, you're not going to know certain people.
True.
Because you're just like, you grew up with what you grew up with, and you fuck with that. You resonate with that most because that was what was most appropriate for the time era that you relate with. And then what's else coming out now is just like whatever the kids are relating with now. And things are mad different than
bro.
We're like, youngins doing our thing.
Yo, let me tell you, and as an old head that grew up with all of that, there are some, a lot of speaking on hip hop, there's some 90s joints where we were very gutter, and it's a different period, what I'm saying, that you just can't say and speak no more, but they were bangers, there are bangers, but you can't, it's difficult to listen to it now, what I'm saying? And I don't know, it's I think it's a good thing, but then it is cringy with the kind of the person that I am now as well. And I'm curious if you guys feel the same way as well. And I'm sure y'all know what I'm talking about, what I'm saying, without putting names or on that kind of said certain shit or certain tracks or whatever. But, stuff that, we probably shouldn't have been listening to, or stuff that we shouldn't have been cheering and, glorifying in different ways. But that just was kind of who we were, or not who we were, but that was just what it was back then. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I feel like it's all based on the times, right? Hip hop came about as like social commentary. Yeah. And then you had all the positive hip hop going on, and then they realized that people were listening. And then that's when you got gangster rap. And then, you know, telling all these stories about how people came up and what life really is like for them or for most of them at the time. Also, then hip hop was not the flavor of the week. Like, hip hop is the thing to do now. Like, if you want your shit to be successful, then hip hop needs to be involved in some fashion for it to be successful now. That wasn't the case 20 years ago at all. You know, like, that was still like, oh, you know, we don't listen to that kind of music. I mean, there's still people who say that, but they can't get away. They can't avoid it now. You know what I mean? Like, they can't avoid it. But also to access, there was just literal the access to hip hop back then. Even if you want to go to the 90s, right? Just the 90s, early 2000s, CDs, man, and that was basically it. CDs and radio. There wasn't, you know, this is before Napster and
well, that's my generation right there. It's called Columbia House. Getting that Columbia House subscription where you could get like 10 CDs for like $1 and then hustling and using somebody else's address just so you can cop the same deal. That shit, we was gangsters back then. Let me tell you, that's what your boy was doing. Like, don't get it twisted.
That sounds like the GameFly hustle. You remember, you guys heard of GameFly?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So many games cops.
Y'all related like a motherfucker to that one, didn't you? Because y'all were doing that shit too. Don't get it twisted.
I mean, I wasn't so much of a hustle, but like when I used to work for the infamous Blockbuster, I used to just get mad. I used to get mad stuff because at that time, like 90s, early 2000s, that was like one of the few places you could get games, like movies, anime and nerd stuff, like all of that. Like only a few places. You had like Blockbuster, you had like Suncoast, and like pocket stuff all over the place. But hip hop is super easily accessible. Anyone like who calls himself a rapper can be a rapper now. Like, not necessarily successful, but they're a rapper, you know. So I don't know. I think it's just
I feel you on that. But what you feel about like certain tracks that were that were bangers back then, but aren't exactly right with the times now?
I'm fine with it, like, to be honest.
So you'll still blast it regardless.
Yeah, like, I mean,
I'm with you on. I'm kind of the same way, but at the same time, I do kind of avoid it to a degree.
I really don't see a difference, and it could be because I'm a woman, and nothing about how hip hop talks about women has changed at all. So for me, hip hop is exactly what it's always been, with your sprinkles of positive, contemporary, moving forward hip hop. But for the most part, in terms of like my worldview, hip hop hasn't changed in terms of its message very much.
I can agree with that. Yeah, no, that's pretty spot on actually. Which is sad because I feel like hip hop could be used as like such a positive thing for
completely
like, the community. You know what I mean? It has been shown time and time again that it can be used to like, you know, better lives and just like inspire generations. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if we had more artists like Kendrick and you know, Jermaine, but more so Kendrick. I feel like, you know, we'd be in pretty good hands. But there's always, I feel like, artists that come out like that have some more in-depth like inspiring type stuff. But for the most part, you know, the radio play is always going to be to what, you know, could get played in the club. Or like what's about partying and, you know, just not the greatest.
I guess what I'm trying to say is is more on like the male front. And so I think then I guess that my question was really directed to you, Roo, and DJ Michael Miguel, was that again, we know that women have always been getting, you know, bitches and hoes from this. So that's where obviously Tranquil's coming from. And so I guess I'm now more as a cognizant male who really respects my women. I think it's the respect for women has changed. I think, or at least I hope. I know, you know, that's where my mindset is. And knowing what I know of you, Ruin, and I'm sure you, my man, are the same. We respect our ladies. But at the time, while we might have respected our ladies, the tracks weren't really like that. And now it's cringy to play a track, or at least that's how I feel now. For me to blast, you know, Uncle Luke is one thing, like 2 Live Crew, you know, those are party records, Pop That Pussy, whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's different. But then there's like, you know, but then you got Gutta, New York shit, which I'm a East Coast cat, that, they really go in hard and a little bit just straight up really disrespectful throughout the track where, obviously, so like from Anita's point, it's always been like that. But yeah, there's just, the 90s gangster rap going into New York, West Coast rivalries, but just that messaging was really problematic. Let's just put it out there,
Well, I'll say, like, respectfully, there's a couple songs that I can know word for word. One of the first songs I learned bar for bar was Slob on My Knob by 3 6 Mafia. Worst song to know. Am I going to play with my girls in the car? Probably not. There's Ain't No Fun. There's I Get Around. Like, all these
exactly
West Coast songs, but you're like, you really think about the message. And even like when WAP was coming out, you're like, this is kind of the same thing. Now they're taking power and people feel attacked for it. I was like, but it's essentially the same thing.
I'm with you on that. You're right on that. It is. Come on. And I love that the women are happy in doing that now. Like, I love me some WAP. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one. But anyway, shoot. Did you just hear? I'm totally going off base. But my girl Megan just dropped a track called Captain Hook. Did you? Or maybe I'm late to the game.
You're super late to Captain Hook.
Hey, well, okay, whatever. But I love that fucking track.
Great song.
Well, she just put a video to it though, because I saw the video. The video just came out.
No.
It said when I looked it up, it was just like July 31st, and it's August 5th.
Like July 31st, 2020.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe I'm late as fuck. Your boy's old, yo. I'm old and I'm busy. I'm old and busy. But anyway, I'm sorry. But you know what I'm saying? I love that the women are speaking their truth now and not giving a fuck.
Definitely.
And I don't know. For me, it's like, it's funny because it's like you stated, now that we're saying, and also that's also not new. Have you heard a Little Kim record?
Oh, of course.
Come on, like that's also not new. Like it's what sells, to be honest. Which is why like other rappers like Chica and like Bree and all these other rappers who are not like the type.
Yeah, we had Mia X back in the day. Come on now, No Limit.
Yeah, like don't get the same attention or whatnot. And also too, if you want to take it like big picture, right? Nobody if we're going to say hip hop for the most part, and it is a black genre, right? Nobody really that participates in hip hop owns their stuff. And the problem is that the people who own it are old white men. And if hip hop is going to be popular, what they are going to play is the stuff that is degrading to keep us in, the spots that we're in. Yeah. Like if all they were playing was music by Common, we might be in a different spot, at this point in time in life. But that's not what it is. What's popular is that gangsta gutta stuff. And, people complain about, if you want some woke music, go find it. I'm like, why do I have to search for woke music? Like, why woke music? Why do I have to search? Why is none of that music mainstream? And all the guns and bitches and hoes and crack deals and brats, why is that okay? So you gotta think about it. It's like it's a whole system.
Yeah.
But to go back to verses, Little John absolutely one is just quality, and two. Go
ahead, speak it, Anita, and then we'll let him have his turn. We gotta let the guests have a turn, Anita. Go ahead.
No problem. And that's what I gotta say about that versus situation. But yeah, Jadakiss killed them all. Yeah.
Go ahead, brother. Tell what you gotta say, DJ.
Shots? That's what you brought the example of shots? Come on, why are you drinking?
Absolutely. So when you say, this is T-Pain, so you can blame T-Pain for this. T-Pain said, hey, let's play like a drinking song. And you choose to play in the round. They were going round for round. Like, okay, let's play a drinking song this round. Let's play a song for the ladies this round. Let's play a song for the club this round, whatever. And I'm like, you choose drinking, and the number one drinking song probably in the last 20 years is Shots. Like numbers say it, it's around the world. I was listening to shots in different countries. I wasn't listening to how you could buy me a drink in different countries. I can tell you that right now.
That's where you need to fix it. You need to listen to buy you a drink and not shots. You got to put shots down over here.
If they not playing, then whose fault is that? It's not mine.
Look,
It's not mine.
All those
it's not
DJs
mine.
fix that shit.
I'm so sorry. It's not that I dislike T-Pain. That's not what I'm saying. He just lost. He lost.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree between you two, I guess, tonight.
He does so much. He does so much for me.
You know, he's a lovely person, and I appreciate his nerd life very much so. But, you know, just if I were to think about true impact, and I was to think about like just number of songs and basing going back and forth like that, he won. Yeah. Not that T-Pain songs weren't great, but he won. Like Lil Jon was coming up with songs that you ain't even know Lil Jon did. And then you're like, oh wait, he has reggae beats that were like popular all over the world. Yes, he does. And you found out during Versus. T-Pain can't say that. He can't say that.
He did revolutionize crunk music, so I can't.
He did.
I know, but
people
T-Pain,
still say today.
Wouldn't you argue that T-Pain was like one of the first to really like do auto-tune, which is basically all the industry is at this point?
Yes.
He's not the first to do auto-tune.
I'm not saying that, but he's like the godfather of auto-tune. When you think of
the only reason why he's the godfather of auto-tune is because he can actually sing. And that's the part that other people don't get, is that you have to actually be able to sing for auto-tune to work the best for you. So, I mean, yeah, but that also introduced a whole lot of rappers and singers we ain't need either.
No, I hear you. I'm just saying, how many artists did Lil Jon influence to really like, you know what I'm saying?
A lot of this.
So many.
A lot of
okay.
This.
No,
like the South where they get that rowdiness and they're getting crazy. That's
all Lil Jon
crunk music right there.
Yeah.
That you get Soulja Boy from that, most likely. I'm pretty sure you get Soulja from there.
Yeah, but
right.
Really
also,
he's the first rapper to do everything. Lil Jon did it first now.
All right.
When Dave Chappelle does the skit about you, you win. Okay.
That's okay. That's actually good.
That's kind of drop the mic right there. I ain't gonna lie. What are some other verses that y'all enjoyed, man? And
let's do
like
the DC and Marvel. I'm ready for that one.
Oh, you want to go get spicy already out the break? You didn't want to keep it on the regular verses? Okay, I can get spicy. Let's get spicy.
Because me and him already disagree on this one, so it's already like it's gonna be good.
Okay, well. Let's start with saying, all right, which one do you prefer? Everyone can say which one they prefer, Marvel or DC. You guys can go first.
Marvel.
DC.
Marvel.
I don't care if I'm ganged up on. I have my reasons. I am willing to discuss these out until y'all know that I'm right. I'm just.
Okay, Roo. Cinematic universe. DC or Marvel, Roo?
Marvel, but that's just
okay.
If you look at it, is cinematic universe the only thing that matters though?
You know what? I'll give you this one. Here's another one to add to that. Animated universe, DC or Marvel? DC all day.
Everything.
DC killing it. That's the one win they get. That's the one win they get, Roo. That's the one win.
They have better comics.
You know what the thing about it is? It's like it's a win, but it's a sad win. And the reason why it's a sad win.
I mean, I don't know about sad.
But let me tell you why it's a sad win. So even when it's amazing, they barely make it past season 2. Marvel could have an animation that is trash, but it'll get to season 6. DC can't do it. They can't do it. They can't do it. Like as good as, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the DC animation. Trust me, I love it. But where's Teen Titans 3? It's been like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
where's Young Justice? That's all I'm saying.
It just came out. What are we talking about? They have does Marvel have its own streaming platform? No, they got to piggyback off of Disney Plus because Marvel alone
They
cannot
own
have its
it.
own
That's
platform.
not even an
But they
argument.
own it though.
They own it. That's not an argument. That's not an argument.
Check it out though. Warner Brothers owns DC, and they have HBO Max. But you know what? They know they're like, DC's pretty dope. We can just have our own streaming platform, which they do. And
you want to know what another problem is? They're working with Warner Brothers. That is a recipe for disaster.
Warner Brothers puts out some heat from time to time.
From time to time.
I don't give a damn. The thing is, we're talking about Hollywood here, and not every studio puts out nothing but hits. I know Disney doesn't put out nothing but hits.
Not even just hits. Just WB's as an infrastructure in terms of creating their product is failing across the board. DC, there's probably not going to be any more Fantastic Beasts because they like backing abusers. But that's a thing.
I don't even know.
That's a thing.
What Fantastic?
I didn't know that. That's news to me.
They fired Johnny Depp. So he can't.
They did.
He's not going to be in Fantastic Beasts 3, and that is literally the only thing pulling money for Fantastic Beasts. And then you have Aquaman, which is the only reason why that pulled money was because Jason Momoa. But now Amber Heard, they don't fire her. She's still in Aquaman 2.
Okay, but we still got Shazam 2 and Black Adam with The Rock. Who The Rock pulls in so much money. Come on, y'all. Everything The Rock is attached to becomes a success. And the fact that The Rock chose DC over Marvel.
They need The Rock. They needed Jason Momoa. They needed.
I hate to say this. I love The Rock. It is success money wise, but are the stories really that great? And you watching it again? No.
When's the last time you rewatched a Marvel movie?
Oh, don't ask me that.
Many times.
No, you rewatching Marvel movies. Come on now. But let's look at some of The Rock's titles, bro. Nah.
The other day.
We watched it because we love The Rock, but are we really watching it for The Rock or the character? So let's say he's the same dude too and everything. And that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother conversation too.
Personally, if The Rock wasn't Black Adam, I might prefer it. But just the fact that we're getting Black Adam on screen, that's the thing I'm talking about. I understand that we just went through this dope, cinematic age with these fucking Marvel characters that, haven't really been that big, but with what Disney has done with them and everything, they've become these really dope characters. And I'm not saying that they're not dope, but what I'm saying is the characters that we got in DC are just more interesting. And they have better powers, better backstories.
I fully disagree. No, let me tell you. Okay, all right. Here's my argument, right? And this goes for the cinematic universe and the comics, okay? My problem with DC, the heroes, I'm not going to include the villains in this. The heroes of DC, they're all, for lack of a better term, almost perfect people.
Yes.
You have Wonder Woman, who is a half god, and she's the only one who kills her villain, so I give her that plus. But, she can hide and she's an alien, but that's not a problem because she looks exactly like the rest of us. Same thing with Superman, the Green Martian. He's a freaking Martian, but guess what he can do? He can shapeshift and nobody will know. And Batman, yay, sad story. Definitely not the saddest I've ever heard, for sure. And 2, he's filthy freaking rich, filthy, obnoxiously rich. And so he has no problems. The Flash, he doesn't have any money problems. Literally, they don't have any real world. They don't have any problems. The relatability is so low. It's in the fucking dirt. And so for me, I'm if you varied your heroes a little bit, maybe we wouldn't be on our 27th Superman. Maybe we wouldn't be there because the stories would capture us. I feel like the best Superman story is Injustice, and that's a video game. And that's because Superman was evil. And that was because he was evil. Marvel, on the other hand, there's so much relatability in Marvel from the like. I don't even have to explain how much of their relatability Marvel has. On top of the fact they place it in real world settings, real world stuff is happening in the comics. Like I don't understand how that could possibly be less interesting than Perfect People.
So my argument is that I got into comics, I got into nerd culture to literally escape all things relatable.
And that's what I was just gonna put the flag on the play with what you're saying, Lou.
I hate having to relate. I don't want to see anything real world in my escapism. You know what I'm saying? Like I want things to be as perfect, or I want not even as perfect, but it's like, yeah, like the characters that I see, the same reason why I like anime and manga is I like seeing OP. I don't like seeing things where it's like, oh, they struggle. That's why I like One Punch Man. Everything's easy. Like it's so weird to say. It might be because I'm like just mad lazy in reality, but it's just like I like to see super OP characters just fucking shit up. That's why I like playing God of War. That's why I like playing games where the fucking character is super.
Yeah, but God of War is relatable. He got his family murdered.
But if you read anything, if you read these new comics that DC been putting out, because no, I'm not gonna front, the New 52 was a terrible era of comics. It was. But we can't front like Marvel also has not had bad eras.
Never said that. You know Never said like that.
Every comic company has had like these like eras of just like either corny writing or these stories that might be relatable, because I also remember in the early 2000s that X-Men had a really weird run where it was like future zombies and everything. I was like, this is kind of like fucking wild.
Yeah, but that's because X-Men has like 27 different series is going on at once. I don't know, like and they can be like all over the place because it's like multi-dimensional. But like for me, like what you were talking about, like escapism, and I totally 1000% agree with escapism. But I think for me, those perfect people, that escapism doesn't represent me as a person in this. It doesn't represent me. Like it doesn't represent, not that I want to struggle, but like that whole thing is just like perfect pale people, and it doesn't represent me. So like for me, I need them to. I need more from DC. I need more from DC because we've seen it over. Like that's another thing. Like I feel like it's the same story over and over. We can't get past intro stories with DC. We can't. Like they're just reinventing the same wheel on how it starts. Not how the journey's going. No different. Just how it starts. Like that's weird to me. Like I don't know. That's weird. And not that I don't have things that I don't like about DC. Villains are awesome. Those are the interesting characters in DC. Are the villains.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, if the villains were as vanilla as the heroes, DC would not exist.
The villains are badass. I'll give it to you there. That's honestly why I'm a DC fan mainly.
Yeah, I get it. Because the villains are awesome.
But to go back to what you were saying, I understand what you were saying, because DC was a little late when it came to well, actually, hold on before I finish there, because I think DC was actually maybe one of the first ones. Didn't DC in the 90s like change all of their characters? Like they partnered with a bunch of black artists and they did the whole universe and they made all their characters black. Did they do that?
I don't know. That sounds like something Marvel would do.
No, I swear.
There was something I can't recall. But I don't know if that's what they completely did. But there was some kind of like I fell off for certain time periods here and there. But I do kind of remember some. I wouldn't be surprised. If they did, because comics have become an event type thing now, or they're getting out of it, but they were like every year had to be some kind of big summer event, and it took over every fucking title. So I wouldn't be surprised. I can't recall if you're right, Rue, but
I've seen that collection at a Comic-Con or something,
Word.
But also I do think that DC does have obviously there's really dope black characters in Marvel. We got Black Panther, we got Blade, we got some really like ones that have been here for a while. Static Shock, in my opinion, is probably one of the dopest black comic book characters of all time. And I know it's not technically DC, but it's like one of those characters that DC owns because of like legality issues.
Yeah, Static is what, Image or Dark Horse?
Image
It's one
Comics,
of those.
yeah, and they're actually revamping Static and the whole Image
I follow the artist who is redoing his whole look. It's dope. I'm very excited to see the new Static shop for sure. And like for you, when you were talking about the villains, like you said, you stick around for the villains too. The reason why you like the villains are because they're relatable.
Honestly, I think that's the whole thing.
It depends on what villain, because the main reason, and there's one villain that I actually, and the only reason I'm a DC fan to the fullest is because of Darkseid. And I don't know how relatable he is.
I mean, like Darkseid's kind of like ridiculous.
He's basically like, he's OG Thanos. Like he was Thanos before Thanos.
Yeah, because
Thanos.
And I just like, his whole aura of like, he's basically unstoppable. I mean, he is, obviously. They do it time and time again. That's comics. But it's like just you're scared of him when you read him. You know what I mean? You see him on the page and you're just like, oh man, I do not want to fuck with some fool who has laser beams out of his eyes that follow you. He also lives in like 4D space, and if he like steps into real space, he can murder everyone. Yeah, he's a pretty. Yeah, no, and I totally get that. That's like Galactus level. That's like really high up there, and I really, really do think that that's cool. But we don't get a lot of him because you're right.
What are you supposed to do with a character that can beat everybody?
No, I get you. I think that's where it comes down to like comics and stuff. It's all subjective, like what you are in it for.
Oh yeah.
Very T-Pain, Little John-esque going on right now.
Well, I'm just saying that's why I believe Marvel is more successful. Let's put it that way. You can love whatever you want, right? But I believe that that's why they're more successful, because you can pull those little notes out and be like, oh, I see you. I got you. Also their costumes, way better.
I think you guys made some fair points. I appreciate the honesty, and
I love you, Roo.
But I love you, Tranquil. But I'm gonna go watch some DC after this, just to solidify my feelings.
Watch Suicide Squad tonight, man. It's now on HBO Max, bro.
So I'm going to Hawaii next week.
I heard.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take my girlfriend to my hometown, and I want to watch Suicide Squad in the theater that I grew up in.
Oh, dope! That's awesome, bro. That's dope.
Is the new one good? Did you get a screener, Kuya?
I'm not saying anything, but yes, it's good.
You see how he do us? You see how he do us?
And y'all were talking about Static earlier today. I was actually during the acting class I am with your girl. I had a press conference with Dennis Cowan and Brandon Thomas, the writers on the new Hardware. And also, they created Static and everything like that. So, there's some dope shit coming out with Hardware soon. I don't know how familiar you guys are with Hardware, but one of the baddest characters in Milestone. A lot of people say he's the Black Iron Man, but nah. He's got the brain power even more, but he's a black man that wasn't given shit like Tony Stark and everything. So just imagine a man with that type of intelligence like Tony Stark, but wasn't given shit and is determined and is a radical and is motivated, and just they're gonna kill the game when more of the issues of I already read the first issue of Hardware #1, but there's 5 more issues that they're gonna kill it. And look for that review coming soon. For Hardware, it's gonna be real dope. The new Milestone is killing it right now. But anyway, man, we because we're right up on time, but I want to do a couple more spicy verses. So Anita, if you can throw a couple more topics, but we won't elaborate. We won't go digging like we did with DC Marvel, but that was fun though. But just give us some more things to go in between to just see what the whole group like.
Anime or cartoons?
That's the same thing.
It is the same thing. I am so glad you said it, Kuya. I'm so proud of you. It is the same thing.
Just different cultural wise, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Anime is literally short for animation. It's nothing special. Like that's really that's it. It's so many things that it's so many things that is interesting that like you have to think that like the US cartoons influenced Japanese artists, and then they just took it and was like, and they did a great job. But if you were to prefer one, you know, culturally, which one do you prefer?
I'm gonna go cartoons.
Shit. I'd go cartoon too.
Yeah, that's what happens when you grow up in America.
Yeah.
Just what it is. I mean, but also, I see you wearing Appa on your shirt. Would you consider Avatar: The Last Airbender? Oh, the whole gang. Yeah,
the whole gang. I would consider. I don't know. I would still consider it a cartoon.
Anime
with anime like flair. Yeah, like because I feel like the show's humor is 100% America. You know, I feel like the humor in it is definitely like a lot of us. But in terms of like the fighting and like the practices they follow and stuff, very, you know, Asian, multiple, you know, Asian countries. So I feel like it's definitely a great mix. Like Dragon Prince and to me is very similar, and to like it kind of feels like it could have been an anime because of how like the storyline is and all of that, and it's complex. Whereas I feel like cartoons are a little simpler, and they're more out to like teach you like a lesson of some sort, even if it's in an absurd way, like Family Guy or you know, South Park.
Yeah. Okay.
You have any ones you want to put it between?
Studio Ghibli or
Oh, I'm sorry, there was a delay.
Oh.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
No, you're good. Studio Ghibli or Pixar? Because I feel like those are both like very top-notch studios. You know,
that's hard.
Very quality stories, but very different.
Easy Pixar all the way.
I don't know though.
That's hard for me, man. I don't know.
That is really hard because
I'm gonna have to go with Pixar, but my Asian side says, "What the fuck are you saying?"
I'm not Asian. I'm still conflicted. So like I don't know, because like there's I could think of some Ghibli movies that I really feel like impacted me super hard. Like Mononoke and Spirited Away, to name two, really like played a part, I feel.
That's a difficult one, but that's a good one. That's a real good one.
That's a good one. I don't know. I don't know.
You got to decide right now. Decide, Anita. We're all deciding right now. We're making it happen.
Gun to the head.
Gun to the head.
I'm gonna have to say Pixar.
There we go. All right.
See, I guess I'm just gonna keep being the odd man out because the only reason I do Ghibli is because those movies bring me a type of peace, and Pixar does too.
See, that's what I mean. Like, it's hard for me to choose because I feel like I love them for different reasons.
Same. Like
completely. I feel like they hit different notes. Like, I feel like Pixar hits me in the feels, whereas like Ghibli, while there is feels, it hits my wonderment a little harder than Pixar. Like I feel far more transported when I'm watching a Ghibli movie than I am a Pixar.
Yeah, I could see that. That makes sense.
And I also live in Japan, so a lot of the times I see things I recognize. So like that's a whole nother like great thing about Ghibli.
Right.
Any more we got that's a little bit spicy that we want to kind of figure out from the group?
Usher or Chris Brown?
What's that?
Usher or Chris Brown?
Usher.
Usher all day.
Usher
all day.
Usher.
I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing. All I can say is he can backflip on beat. That's it.
Chris Brown is a badass dancer, but
he's also a badass person, and
that's the problem too.
I can't deal. I can't.
But if we can talk about that, Usher made T-Pain go into depression.
The fact that so I have a very extreme problem with that whole discourse, because you say that to him and then you don't say shit back to him, or you don't ask him why, or any grown man thing at all to do, like at all. Like, where is your backbone, T-Pain? Like, if you like, yo, yeah, oh, okay, so you ruined music, I ruined music. But I got the bag though. Like, what, very simple retort. Very simple retort. 4 years? I'm not trying to say his feelings don't matter, but you tell, and why bring it up now? Why? It's not a Me Too movement. Like, why did you bring it up now?
What I will say is I feel like when Chris Brown came out with the self-titled Chris Brown, till now, he's been having hits, at least 2 or 3 solid hits per year. You're always going to hear a Chris Brown song.
Has he, though?
Like, you will always hear it. Like, granted, there was that slow little thing, because obviously we all know what happened.
I mean, sure, R. Kelly had hits.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
But, look, Step in the Name of Love is still a great song.
It might be, but he was stepping on children, so let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that.
It's so painful for me.
I feel like Chris Brown holds so many more, like, he can go here, he can go there, and even just his features alone, I feel like his features are a little bit, can swing him over just a little teensy weensy more.
Okay, look, no. And the reason why is because Chris Brown only exists because Usher existed. Like, Usher had to walk so Chris Brown can beat up people, okay? Like, that's what happened. All right. So, for me, you can be talented, but like, when your attitude and who you are as a person is so trash, I can't see you. Like, Hitler was a great speaker, but he was a Nazi. Like, 2 things can be true at the same time.
Yes. But I don't think Usher was like the greatest person, because wasn't he like cheating and having all these allegations with all that kind of stuff too?
Yeah, like that's like a normal black guy thing, right?
No, that's not.
In the music industry, it is.
Yeah, sad.
Yeah.
But I'm not co-signing on that.
I'm not saying you have to co-sign that, but I would rather somebody cheat on somebody than beat up somebody. There's really no comparison, and I'm only doing it so because it's a versus, but it doesn't matter how talented Chris Brown is. Like, he's not gonna he's hot now because he exists now. I don't think he's gonna have bangers that we remember in 15 years, but we will remember Usher in 15 years.
I don't know, with these kids, the way they look, and my brother doesn't even know who Usher is.
I mean, how old is your brother?
18.
Yeah, he's super duper young. Does he listen to R&B though?
I don't think a lot of these kids do though.
I think there's a shift changing.
Like, because R&B as a genre is dying. That's the reason why. I feel like there's plenty of R&B singers out there, but they're just not hitting the mainstream, mostly because rap exists. Like, I miss that whole like rapper and R&B singer hook combination that was real big in the early 2000s. Like, that was the gold. That was money right there. And I don't know what happened.
Well, it was kind of, it was getting a little too much. That I saw it fade. I think we all saw it fade.
Well,
and it was becoming a little
of everything. You know what I mean? Like, there's gonna be, and the thing that's kind of annoying me right now is just like from 2015 and then on, this trend of like whatever the fuck we got going on now is not changing.
Drug abuse.
And it's not shifting into like anything different. It's just like it's more of the same shit. Like,
I blame social media.
I do too.
Because we're in the copycat phase of life right now. Before, you didn't have the access see 86 or 90, 20, 200 different artists at your fingertips. You had what you could buy and what was on the radio. So your like field of vision was pretty small. So
Mhm.
I feel like you could create without outside influence. That's very difficult to do today.
Yeah. You also had to have talent though, I feel, because now it's like you just need to grab attention.
Yes.
You need to put
Yep.
face tattoos, you need to color your hair, you need to go into the jeweler and make a live video and steal from the jeweler.
Yeah.
Like, you got to do a bunch of different things to get people's attention, because that's what kids don't care about lyrics. Kids don't care about, like what you're really doing out there in the community. I'm not saying all kids. There definitely are kids that, defy those, what I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
But, I got younger siblings. I know what these kids are valuing, and I see it firsthand. And it's just like,
yep.
Surface level, it sounds cool, because I know we all know what it's like being young and being inspired by others that are around our age doing things that are better than us, or what we think are better than us, because it's all a facade, right? Like we all think this game that everyone's following on Instagram, this whole music industry, we think it's something different. And the kids are really leaning into it now, where it's like, nobody wants to do regular work no more. Everyone wants to be an influencer. Everyone wants to rap. Everyone wants to be in front of the screen because they think it's that easy.
Yep.
And it's just like, yo, it takes a special person to be an actual, like a real artist. And back then, and this is why I love we did the review on that hip hop documentary a couple episodes ago, or was it that long ago? It was like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Where we brought up the term poser. And I know like it's not that cool to use that word now as much, but it's just like, I feel like in certain aspects it kept things in order, because it's just like it kept from fools who were pretending something that they're not from getting to a place where they shouldn't be. Because I remember being in rap circles when I was in high school, and if you weren't good, you would get roasted. You would get thrown out, because no one wants to listen to shit bars. But now people don't care. Cool ad libs mean more than cool like lyrics. And
very true.
Oh man, that's a lot.
That's the truth right there. That's real talk. That's real talk. All right, let's shift to because we went over on time. But I always enjoy these conversations. We had a lot of fun. We didn't talk much with our special guests, and just really quick, let's show some love with Open Mic Podcast. What y'all are doing and what you got going on, brother. Let's show you some love, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, love it. Just follow us, Open Mic Podcast on Spotify, podcast on Apple, anywhere you can listen to it. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Miguel Fearing. Follow me on Twitch and TikTok. It is DJ Michael Miguel. All the little mixes that you hear on the start of the episodes, that's me DJing. So
okay,
trying to throw down,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
If you ever need a tall person to get something from a high shelf,
there you go. Anything coming up soon that y'all talking about that we can look forward to just highlight?
We're about to record another episode right after this.
Okay. So what can we look forward to? What are y'all talking about in this new one?
Vaccination.
I want to talk about time.
I want to talk about vaccine.
Time. Mainly because the Loki series got me kind of thinking about it.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So check out the Open Mic Podcast for our existential crisis episode.
Hell yeah.
Just follow up on the we need to make an Instagram just for the show so far. Yeah. But yeah, man. promo, man. Well, hey, yo, DJ Michael Miguel, man, we'd love to have you back, man. You fam, with my man Roo right there. So anytime you want to come back, we'd love to have you back and join us and rock and roll with you, man. I love it and love what y'all are doing. So yeah, definitely check those guys out, man. Roo, since we're already still let's keep it in the chamber right there. Open Mic Podcast, Roohkage. How can they check out Roohkage? Y'all know where to find me, ROOHKAGE on Twitter and Instagram. I just quit my job, so once I get back from Hawaii, I'm gonna have more time to. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to y'all about that later.
Okay.
What the fuck? That's a what?
Yeah, no, I'm making decisions, but I also got a lot of things lined up, so it's cool. But I'm not going to be as busy and not as tired, so I can be more invested in y'all because I've been feeling bad, bro. These 60-hour weeks are not for me, bro. Capitalism, fuck that.
Okay. I just know you were putting in work and you were happy with it though. But also at the same time, I know you were worn the fuck out. I know you were worn the fuck out.
It's hard to live, bro. So,
yeah.
I'm adjusting, but things are gonna be good. I got this Hawaii trip coming up. I'm gonna have some relaxation. Check out my grinds posts for those because everybody knows I be posting my food and everything.
I'm gonna be paying attention. I will be paying attention.
Yeah. Also, there ain't no also. That's just it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. Well, number love, Rue. Number love, man. You just stunned me real quick. I was like, hold up, you just fucking stone cold stunned me real quick. What the fuck?
I got some other plans though.
All right. Tranquil, what's good, homie? What we got coming up in the lab? What you doing? What's been up? Why you been so busy? Because what we got, we can tell that we can't tell. Because I know there's stuff we can't tell yet. But let's talk what we can tell.
Well, I'm going to AwesomeCon, so I have a panel for D&D with some friends. So I have that coming up, and that'll be the weekend after this one. And then also I will be in Atlanta for 2 weeks. I have a little sponsorship and you guys will see a post about it soon, but I'm super excited to my first official all expenses paid sponsorship. So I'm pretty excited about that. And you can find me on Tranquil Ashes on all platforms.
All right. And then hopefully soon this podcast we've been working on that you are going to be taking and I'll be producing. So yeah, want to put that out there. We got some stuff in the works. All right, Anita, Tranquil Ashes, open my podcast with my man DJ Michael Miguel and Roohkage. Love you guys, man. Thank you for joining us. For me, it's your boy Kuya P. You can follow me at Train since 1977 as well as at Temple Far East. Over on TikTok, the legend Kuya P. Of course, the Nerds of Color at the Nerds of Color on everything, and my Filipinx show Pal Show, and over here at the NRW and at New Release Wednesday where nerds rule the world. A lot of stuff coming your way, man. We just dropped the 50th episode of Show Pal Show with Ruby Ibarra and LAJ Bosco and Leslie Alejandro. I got 10 more already filmed and on the way, so we're already at episode 60, and I'm booked to the end of the year, so Show Pal Show is killing it. Free Guy with Van City Reynolds, Ryan Reynolds. I just talked to a bunch of gamers that I don't know who the fuck these people are, but apparently this young generation knows. Jack, Septic Eye, Dan TDM, Pokimane, Ninja. I don't know who those fools are, but apparently they're big. So there you go.
Very, very big.
I was like, what the fuck am I gonna say to these gamers? You play games all day. Like, you got lucky you're a Free Guy. What you talk about? But maybe that's just an old ass me talking. Like, I don't know. But I had a fun time combo with them. So those interviews are coming. Bunch of shit I did with Disney. Some Shang-Chi shit on the way. I ain't going to say any more on that. A lot of shit on the way. So it's going to be popping. Make sure you subscribe to New Release Wednesday. We got a lot of stuff coming. And from the whole squad, shout out to You're So Cool with Rob Medina and Glenn Lawrence with the Blurred Dad podcast, man. A lot of stuff popping. Love you guys, man. Thank you, DJ Michael Miguel. Open my podcast. Our special guest. We'd love to have you back, man. You part of the fam now. Let's keep it coming. Tranquil Ashes, we out of here. Boom. Something to nothing. Did we give you something or nothing? Let us know in the comments below.